Hi everybody and welcome to another OS expedition. This time is a little bit different. The past few episodes it's been more the odd occasion where it's been real applications, but it's been most of the PowerPoint stuff where people have created PowerPoint interfaces and PowerPoint. Some of them are quite good and some of them quite meh. The thing about PowerPoint is, if you don't have PowerPoint you can't actually use them, and the functions that are in PowerPoint, such as the developer functions being Visual Basic, elements such as the web browser function, the notepad function, buttons, you could use the elements that you get from PowerPoint itself, but the thing is, these presentations don't support the new versions of PowerPoint. They only support 2007 to 2010. It doesn't support a PowerPoint viewer application and the mobile versions of PowerPoint, and obviously a third-party presentation software doesn't support Visual Studio development tools. But the thing about a Visual Basic or Visual Studio application, like what I'm showing you today, is they're more independent. Yeah, if you're using Windows 7 you might have to install there's no DirectX. It'll probably come to me later on, but on Windows 8 and 10 it's already pre-installed, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's those two back-end bits of software are free, unlike PowerPoint you have to pay, I think it's like £100 for a copy. But anyway, moving on from that, here we are, and this is VB.OS. As I self say, it's Zion OS, quote unquote. And here we go. It's supposed to be modded like a kind of actual operating system, but it's created to look like a very modern operating system. It's very, in functionality, it's anemic, similar to like Google Chromium OS, but it's still pretty good. Pretty good wallpapers you get on it. But this is the login screen. You've got a little power icon at the top here. You've got a clock. Log into Zion. Now I can't actually remember what the password is. There we go. This is the desktop. Looks clean, looks quite anemic. But yeah, this little tile thing down here, similar to what you get on a Samsung Android device, brings up an apps menu. I think it's beta, so some functions that the guy who's made this has put in don't actually function yet. But what you do get, if I click that away, get this little clock that you can actually move about, and it's 10:53, and it's PM as well, so it's actually at night. Options for, I think, is that a screensaver? Yep. It's kind of like a sleep function, even though it doesn't. It's just another window. Click away. Restart, and that actually completely resets the software. And then you've got a power function, which I'm not going to use yet. So here's the menu. Can you right click? No, you can't. So here's the menu. It's got applications and certain functions you need for getting it to work, similar to like a start menu. So got information. Zion OS version 1.0, 2015 edition, release date 2015, activated, blah. Fair browser, or Z browser as it's called, because I can't really make up its mind what it wants to be called. Now I'm going to see if the enter function works. Status, okay. Right. Does it work? Right. Here we are. Now, you can't actually drag or make the window bigger, but you can resize it with these functions here. So you can make that full screen or shrink it back down. And the animation is quite nice actually. It could just be because it's lagging or something, but it's got good animation, funnily enough. So here's Google. So here's images, and I'll go into YouTube, and that works pretty well. And as you can see, I'm logged in, so that's Z browse. Back, forward, I think there's a refresh button, a cross button for like stopping it, a go button, a home button. Is that a favourites button? Oh, that takes you back to your favourites. Google search function. So I'll see if this actually works. I'll go into, what's the first thing that I can search? Web browser. Just something random. So web browser, and it does actually work, which is quite fascinating. So that's VB browser calculator. So 56 plus 6 is 62. Fair enough. You can move that about, obviously. You can cut and paste it. Oh! Paste that in a little notepad thing. Hello, this is a note, and I think, keep wrong, is that copy, cut, paste? Can't remember how you save it, or does it auto save? I'll find if it auto saves. Do you auto save? No, the save function's there, right. Oh, I think I've crashed it. That's not good. I think I've crashed it. I'm back. I don't know what I've done, but I think I crashed it. Right, so I'll see if the save function works again. Oh, okay. Don't worry about that then. Yeah, that's notepad function. I don't really need it to save on my hard drive, so. Terminal. What the hell? Let's see what that does. Enter. Opacity. Opacity. Okay. Go away. Right. So image viewer, you can actually open your own as well. So open some quickly. Right, so I've opened a quick image, and you've got options to stretch it to. Oh, that's actually quite smart. Okay, done with that now. Music player, you can actually open your own song, so I'm going to open that just now. And I don't know if you can hear that, but it's actually playing a song now. You can pause it and play it, stop, and that resets it as well. So, don't know what the playlist. Add to playlist? Nope. And it gives you the link to the actual source of the song as well. Nice little thing. It's also got an image here, just make sure there's no completely blank. And yeah, it's quite a nice little player. Yep. Video player. So look, it's got all the functionality of Windows Media Player. It's just a little bit lazily designed, but I'm not fussing. I'm no any better than Visual Studio based stuff. As I'll probably show you later on with some of my stuff. Yeah. Play and pause and stop. Open a video. Here is a video that I took in a shopping centre. Just two little birds. Just wandering about. What I just missed when whipping out my camera is these two birds were actually fighting with each other. That was the reason why I took out my camera, and by the time I pressed record, the fight was already done. So that's what you see. That's just the aftermath of what's going on, is what you see. So I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just turn off, get a camera again, so it only lasts for like 2 or 3 seconds. But yep. Clock. Now this is no actual clock function because you've already got the clock widget on top here, but what this does is actually just a settings function for the clock, so you can actually make movable, which hides the little dragon object here. Change the colour. And you can disable it and hide it. But yep, that's the clock settings. It should be clock settings, it just says clock, which is quite confusing, and you can there's a little draw application here as well. You can resize the paint tool. So Dumpty dumpty dum, dumpty dumpty dum dum dum. Up and down, V, W, Z, Y, Z, X. And just different sizes. Do you like my little drawing? I made it quickly just now, and yeah. So that's a little draw application. Draw sound recorder. I think that literally does record sound, but I'm not going to bother using it. Math solver. I'm not sure how this works. So 3 and 45 find. Answers on 29 for width radius. Whatever. Just an extension of the calculator program is what it is. So options. These are options, and it's a tail-based thing. All in the same window. You've got the web browser settings. So you've got the home page. You've got the favourites website. You've also got. You can also change the background colour of the web page as well. You can change the wallpaper. I'm going to change it to an Arctic landscape. There we go. I'm not going to check for updates because it's going to come up with an error. I can change. There we go. So change username's Ricky, and you can probably change that to Smith30. I don't know. New pin. There's no an actual. What this guy should do, I think, as a suggestion, is add a default password or something. Because I'll explain in a minute why. The settings saved. So that was my wallpaper as well. So that was a view of Aontri. I'm trying to think what it was there. So yeah, it's quite a nice little interface. I've got quite a few gritty nitty little things I want to talk about it though. Just a few nags. First off, on the desktop, the icons, the username at the top is kind of small. And I really like it if there was like an actual taskbar or something here, maybe like a line or something representing it being a little bar at the bottom. Maybe have a little colour, maybe even add an option to recolour it. But you know, that's just me. That's just little nitty stuff, as I say. Something I don't like about this though are the icons. On the menu you've got all these little round icons, and then you've got, if I open VB browser, you've got these kind of like stock kind of icons here, and they're not even concise either. They're all because they came from different websites or clip art from PowerPoint or whatever. And at the bottom here you've got the kind of metro style tile based icons for like the restart and everything else. That juxtaposed with the round icons doesn't make it look right. To me it would have to be concise, like there would have to be tiles. If you're going to use the square icons, you have to have square icons in the menu. If you're going to have round icons, you have to have them everywhere else. I think to make it more modern in this case, or make it look concise, which is the case, because it doesn't look that concise. It's not all the same. It's all different and all over the place when it comes to. It's a nice little interface, but it's all over the place. These icons here on the clock, as well as everything else, aren't concise either. And also, Polkadot's in beta, so maybe I'm going a little bit too far with the narking and everything else, but it's called VB.OS in the menu, and it's called ZBrowse in the settings and on the web browser itself. But everywhere else, so it's concise. Now what goes on here on some applications is the title bar at the top is different. So some it's all the same. I'm just going to open a bunch of applications just to show you what I'm talking about. So in the music and video player, the icons aren't the same for the logos, but they're still round, and the designs are almost completely the same. Open song or open video, the buttons light up red, which are both the same, and I think they're about the same size, and the cross button is the same. But in other cases, like the settings, the clock settings here, it's not. That's grey. Now, something that really, it's just a little nitpicky little thing, as I say. But to me, what should have happened is ZBrowse as well should have had a black based title bar as well. And maybe in settings you could probably, add new settings where you can actually change the title bar settings, like change the colour, and make them all the same. Like if all those other 4 applications have got a black title bar, well, I don't know, it just makes it look as though it's inconcise, or these are just additional applications that have just been installed on there and everything else. It doesn't match up. So, and you see nowadays with the modern operating systems, the real ones obviously, like Windows, Mac OS, Android to some extent, Windows Phone, they all have a particular look. At least most apps have a particular look and feel, and the way they're designed, and the way they look, and how they animate, and but it's not the case here. So to me, to make it a little bit better would probably to make it more concise. If you're going to use a particular type of icon for the applications and the turn off stuff, make it concise and use the same or identical icons. I'm not complaining that much because some of the icons in the menu are almost the same, with the odd one or two. Maybe he was having a hard choice trying to find new icons, so you can only use the ones that you could find. So it's just little naggy little things I've got issues with, but this is a real problem here. Now in settings, if I was to clear the cache of this, because with Visual Studio applications, the saved settings are saved into a folder within Windows, in a hidden folder, and it caches your settings. Now one thing about this though is there's no password when you first install and use it, but when you go to set it, which is the problem wanting to go for, is when you go to set it, because there's no password, it demands a password. So what you have to do is when you go to change, you have to type in a random number and then erase it back, and then you're into it. Initially I was like, what's going on? I've not got a password set on this, and I was quite confused and I was like, I went to the guy who created it. I was like, do you have a password set in the settings that I can access it? But then I sussed it out. When it's clear, the cache is clear and there's no password on it, what you have to do is just type a character and then erase it, and then it'll enter it also. But because I've got a password on this now, if I type in the password, it enters me in. So that's that. But little niggly little things, but as I say, I do like it. But this background colour you can change from ZBrowse. I wish you could have an option to change the title bar of all the applications that are installed, or like pre-bundled with this application. But yep, that was, I'm going to change the background here. Oh, that's quite blank. But yeah, that's quite nice. So this was VB.OS, a nice little interface. As I say, I've got little niggly little stuff going on about it, but doesn't mean I don't like it. I do. Another thing you could have probably done, everyone's going, oh. Another thing they could probably have done was all the applications here could have been named after Z or something, because he's got the web browser called Z, because it could apply more like the actual system. Like with Apple products, you've got iOS, and you've got the hardware that they run on iPhone, iPad, iPod, and they've got iTunes. So have a kind of like little kind of like naming system is what I'm trying to say. So it's called Zion OS. So the first letter of Zion is Z. So maybe make it fancy and make it more unique. Have everything start with a Z or something. So Z Note or Z Notepad. Keep Z Browse and get rid of Fay Browser and just call it Z Browse. Z Music, Z Video, Z Clock, and instead of Z Sound Recorder, maybe just put Z in Sound and Sound Recorder. Options for Zion, Z Draw. But yeah, you probably catch my drift. But yeah, that was Zion OS, and it's quite a nice little interface, as I say. And yeah, tell me what you think below, and I'll leave a link to this software on my website, hopefully. And as I say, everything else, if you enjoyed this little video, give me the thumbs up, give me a comment on anything else you find interesting that you want me to see, or give me suggestions on more videos. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because you'll get notifications on new videos that I've post up. I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Bye.